What's going on, my beautiful people? This is your certified life and relationship coach, Coach Court. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why a dismissive avoidant will leave. Thank you for sticking around. This is your first time viewing me. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button and ringing that little bell so you're notified for all the newest coaching content. Before I get into the content, if you want my help personally, reach out to me on my website at www.fruitfulseeds.com. Click the products tab and you can book an email coaching consult with me or a one-on-one coaching session. Thank you guys. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why a dismissive avoidant will leave you or deactivate from the relationship. Now, this topic was sparked on a message that I got from one of my subscribers. I will get into that later on, but first I'm going to give you the very first reason why they will, and that is they didn't feel support from you. One of the most important things that you can do when you're in a relationship with a dismissive avoidant is to show them support and make sure that they understand that you have their back at all times. Now, that can be because they have gotten into an argument with a family member or with a friend, or they are trying to start that new business venture, or they may be into something spiritual that they want your support on. If you're not there to support them, then that's when they'll start to think like, all right, this person isn't for me. The dismissive avoidant people, they have this idea of a relationship being this utopia where, there is no arguments, everyone is constantly supporting each other, and they don't address the elephant in the room, or they like to sweep the problems under the rug, which totally isn't realistic. But that's the first reason that they will decide to deactivate from the relationship or completely leave you, is because they didn't feel the support. If you were someone that supported them early on and then all of a sudden you started to change your ways, that's when they'll start to feel like, all right, well, maybe that person wasn't the real person. Now, this is all a protective mechanism. It is all for them to stop themselves from getting their heart broke and being vulnerable with someone. But I'm going to go ahead and read this comment really quickly. Thank you guys for sticking around up until now. And the comment says, all right, this really describes me to a T. This was on a video that I did last year. And it was basically about the dismissive avoidant attachment style. I'll include that link in the description below. I'll also include this at the end of the video where you can just click directly to the link. All right, so this guy said, this really described me to a T. I will block someone quick after a breakup or at the moment I feel unsafe or if I feel I can't trust you. And he went to go on and say, hey, I'm just so glad that you're able to talk about this, because many people think that we're narcissists, and we're just not narcissists. We're just trying to protect ourselves. So it hurts way too much to try and be friends or even cordial. I just rather act as if you never existed. I don't bring anyone around my family or friends because I don't want to look stupid or be embarrassed if it doesn't work out. This is another reason why, as an anxious, preoccupied person too, when we get into our jealous fits of rage or whatever you want to call it. So I just hear what you say. It resonates with me. Being DA is not something that I thought I would be until my therapist pointed it out. I just rather be alone and safe than be trying to be with people over and over and over again. I think that's great that you got a therapist too. Like, that's awesome that this person, whether it's a man or a woman, or was able to point you in the right direction as far as like the things that you need to heal within yourself. Because I see so often where people will have therapists and they never addressed it, attachment style injuries or attachment style wounds. So I think this is great that you have a therapist. And I recommend therapists and counselors to everyone that I either coach or has reached out to me via Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. I always recommend that they go and seek out a therapist that's going to help them heal themselves. The dating relationship process for me is excruciating and exhausting for me. I go through so much anxiety, so many thoughts go through my head. I can't fully open myself up to be with anyone. That's basically the gist of the message. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next reasons of why a dismissive avoidant will leave you. The next one is you have too many expectations on them. Unfortunately, when expectations are placed upon people who are dismissive, they don't see it as someone trying to communicate their needs or someone that's trying to build a stronger bond with them. All they hear is, I'm flawed, I need to change this, I need to change that. If you're my boyfriend or you're my girlfriend, you should be doing this because this is what boyfriend and girlfriend should be doing. You have to be really careful about how you show up and how you present, the needs that you need to be met. And if it's something that you don't see, they can actually feel like if you've been with this person long enough, if they have the mental capacity or the capability to even meet your needs. So you need to think about that and keep that in the front of your mind as to whether this thing is a fantasy or is it actually reality. So the next one is there was a major violation in trust. Now this could be cheating, this could be you lying to them because they're constantly looking for the reason to not be with someone. They're looking for the flaws in someone because they want this perfect person. And it's usually because they want to be as preventative of getting their heart broken as possible. The next one is they felt inadequate. Now this can go along with the expectations when people are trying to communicate their needs, saying, hey, if we're in a relationship, these are the things that I need in order to feel like I'm important, to feel as if I'm a priority, whether those be love languages. If you guys aren't familiar with the love languages, there's a book written by Gary Chapman. And in that book, it talks about how when we're in relationships, we have 5 basic languages of love that makes us feel important and makes us feel fulfilled in relationships. And those languages are physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gift giving. Now, we all have a top 2 or 3 that is going to make us feel like we're valued in a relationship. And if you're with someone that aren't giving those things, let's say if you're with a dismissive avoidant, they're not really good at words of affirmation, and they're not really good at quality time because they value their individuality and their time alone above all else. And if you're with someone like that and they're not giving you that, then most likely the relationship will fall apart because you won't feel fulfilled. In the book, they talk about how those love languages that they speak to you is basically filling up your love tank. And if your tank's on E, then you can't love accordingly. And the 5th and last one is they fear change. If the change is being pushed upon them, usually when they start to pull away or they break up with you, it's around some type of major event that happened. You guys may be thinking about moving in together, and I've worked with so many clients that this happened to. You guys may have gotten engaged. You may be, having a wedding the very next day, and they decide to pull away, they get cold feet. You need to make sure that they're actually in this, and if they're able to even do this. If you have looked into their history or you talked about their history and they said that, in the past they've always left people, they've had a series of relationships that lasted 1 to 2 years, and they never really made that strong commitment to someone, never lived with anyone, they may have lived with someone and not in a healthy way, then you need to realize that maybe this relationship isn't for you. So those are the 5 reasons why dismissive avoidant will either leave you or deactivate severely from the relationship. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to go ahead and click this link right over here, it is the video that I referred to earlier where the guy commented on it. Once again, if you want my help personally, you can reach out to me on my website, or you can join my Patreon account or my YouTube membership account. I have all those links in the description below. You can also follow me on my other social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is I am Coach Court. Thank you guys, and I will talk to you soon.